SHOTO! How is it going, everybody? Sean Ross here, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Class is now back in session. I hope you guys did not go through withdrawal last week since we did not have a new MHA chapter, but My Hero Academia is back this week, and I'm just excited after the week break to get back into the swing of things and continue with our joint battle training exercise with our third match officially kicking off this chapter with Todoroki's team of Class A going up against Tetsutetsu's team of Class B. So we are on chapter 203, and the title of this chapter is Flexible Juzo Hononuki. So our Skull Sans boy of Class B, Juzo Hononuki, is going to be a main focus this chapter. It kind of has me wondering if we're going to learn more about his character, most likely expand upon his quirk just a little bit. But also, in the thumbnail for this chapter, I'm seeing Endeavor with the new scar that he has and his new costume. So are we going to start off with Endeavor this chapter? I'm just excited to have MHA back. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into chapter 203 of My Hero Academia and see what we get this chapter. So on the first page, we are kicking things off with Endeavor. We are at the Endeavor offices, the Endeavor Hero Agency. And on the side here, what's worrying the #1 hero, chapter 203. We're being bombarded with requests for team-ups and interviews. Should I handle it the same as always? So the sidekicks are handling all the requests coming in. We have some type of mummy guy, and then an older-looking Kota, because he's got like the horns on like the mask that he is wearing. He definitely looks like an older Kota, but Endeavor's not really paying attention to them. He's more focused on the phone in his hand, and that scar on Endeavor definitely makes him look more badass. I like the scar with Endeavor. And he just says, yes, compile a list of the team-up offers. We see smoke coming out of Endeavor's nose. With Fuyumi's cooperation, I finally was able to register Shoto as a friend. Like social media? Like he sent in a friend request to his own son? Oh my god, Endeavor, you have a lot of work to do being a parent and a father to your kids. But you can see that he was texting. I think that's texting. I don't think that's Twitter DMs. He's been texting Shoto. There's something I must tell you once again. So don't ignore me. I know you've read those messages. Oh my god, they're coming up as seen. Oh my god, he's doing what Ida did to Deku during the Stain arc.
He read the message but didn't reply.
And that is something I would expect Shoto to do just within his character, to look at his father's messages and be like, I don't feel like answering. So this is the conversation. Shoto, how are you? We need to talk. I'll be waiting for your reply. And all of them say seen/read. That is so relatable. That is like the most annoying thing when you are trying to text someone and it shows up as read. And you're like, come on, I know you saw my message. Answer me back. Horikoshi making it so relatable just with the first page alone. I love that. I'm different from who I was before. I was completely ignoring your will and flashing back to the flashback we saw last chapter with Endeavor training Shoto. Stand up. Quit pretending to be so frail. But now that you've discovered who and what you want to be and have begun walking down that path, now is the time for me, as your father, to pass on that technique. I like seeing the slow growth and development of Endeavor, him trying his best to be a good father now to his kids, to make up for what he did in the past. It's going to be a long road, but I like the small steps I am seeing from Endeavor. It's just really cool to see this development go over just a long period of time. And once again, that scar just makes Endeavor even more badass with that overall look. So please stop reading my messages only to ignore them. Very relatable. Okay. We have to do this properly. SHOTO! He's just shouting his son's name to the heavens. You see the flames just erupting from his body, and his sidekicks are just like, okay, we gotta steer clear of this. He's probably just in class or something. Calm down, Endeavor. Maybe there's a reason he's not answering you, but we know Shoto's just like, eh. His Shoto anxiety is getting worse by the day. Even his sidekicks know. So we're cutting away from the Endeavor stuff, going back to the official start of match number 3, and Todoroki just sneezed. You know what that means? Someone's talking about you, Shoto. You gotta answer your dad, but he's a little bit preoccupied at the moment. Are you alright? I can't believe you of all people would catch a cold. Now that I'm thinking about it, can Shoto actually get sick? You know, with him being able to regulate fire and ice with his body temperature. That'd be interesting that with his powers, it'd be really cool if Shoto and everyone else in his family kind of does not get sick, or at least him at least, you know, with the combination of fire and ice. Little thing just to make me think now after I'm done reading this chapter. And then after Ida said that, no, I think I'm fine. We're almost there. We'll move exactly the way we planned, spread out. So Class A does have a plan moving in on Class B. And Tetsutetsu is just continuing to destroy the environment, crushing all of the pipes, and Pony is just yelling at him, Tetsutetsu, there's no way the other team would be so naive as to come out for us after that. They'll think it's a trap. It's a trap! And then we have our Sans boy covered up with the mask. Really, if I were them, I'd go. Send Shoji to scout out the current situation and then attack with Todoroki at the center. That's their strongest formation. And if we were all out in the open in a single group like this, then... Okay, so it seems like he's getting cut off there, but Juzo is very smart. We should not forget the fact that he was brought in via recommendation similar to Todoroki, so Juzo, besides the fact that he's the title of this chapter, he's going to be like the brains of Class B. He's going to be like the de facto leader. He is thinking this through, and he knows the best course of action that Class A is going to take. Okay, so what's going to happen? Oh, we got a double spread page, and Shoto just unleashed the ice wall. Oh my god, that looks beautiful. You see Pony and Kaibar just getting blasted with this. I think Tetsutetsu was farther up, so he's most likely covered. Oh yeah, no, I see him on the side there, so yeah. Shoto just went in with his trump card, the ice wall, to just bombard all of Class B. It's a smart strategy, but Juzo thought he was going to do that, so what is Class B going to do now? As always, he can fire off that strong blast like it's nothing. That's just not fair. Of course Mineta would say that. Even so, that ice block was formed precisely so it wouldn't obstruct their field of vision. Todoroki's improved too. Ochiko's right, it's more spread out. It's not like the gigantic iceberg that we usually see Todoroki just fire off. It's more spread out and more precise. So he has honed this technique just a little bit. Todoroki's in the direction the ice came from, but where's the rest of them? Probably hiding. Even though Honenuki can soften the earth, if we cover everything in ice, it matters not. So we see Ida and Ojiro, and Shoji, we don't see him, but he is most likely hiding as well. We'll arrest them all in one fell swoop while their movements are dulled. And Ida's moving in with the Recipro Burst. He's flashing it up right now, tapping into the Speed Force, and Tetsu is not fazed by this at all. He's like, bring it on! And we see something happening with the ice. It's like liquefying. That's Juzo's softening quirk. He is softening the ice, so he can affect the ice as well. Okay, so how is Class A going to retaliate with this now? Yeah, the entire environment has been softened by Juzo. It's now glooping all over the place. Just one ice blast? To me, that's nothing but a cheap trick. And we have our Sans boy. If you had mercilessly attacked us with fire instead, we would have been pretty screwed, you know, and his hero name is Mudman. I would have preferred Sandsman, but it still works considering what his quirk is able to do. So Juzo Honenuki, quirk softening. It would have been actually funny too if his hero name was actually Soft Man, Soft Boy. Oh, that would make it even better. Oh, that's funny. He can soften anything he touches, but it has no effect on living things. If he touches it again, the effect is released. Thanks, Juzo. As usual, your counterattacks are flexible. So Kaibar giving some praise over to Juzo. He's like giving a thumbs up, like, don't worry about it, man. I got you. As a side note, he's one of the members of Class B who was admitted through recommendations like Momo and Todoroki. So there's only one other member of Class B that we still don't know who got in on recommendation. I would prefer it to be one of the female students, but we're just gonna have to wait and see in matches 4 and 5 if that gets revealed. So we have Ojiro on the next page. He activated his quirk just before the ice rendered him immobile. His reflexes are insane. We need to and there it goes. The pipes that Ojiro was about to leap off of has been softened as well. Yeah, if you take away the environment, this hinders the movement of not only Ojiro, but Ida as well, because if the ground soften, he can't run on the mud-like ground. So this would hinder Ida as well. Gotcha, and Juzo's just pointing over to Ojiro. I randomly softened various objects in the vicinity, so I wouldn't trust any foothold if I were you. And then Sato, giving some commentary on the sideline, all of this was improvised, right? I don't know if he's just good at reading the situation or what, but Hononuki, his flexibility isn't just for show. Well, he didn't get in on recommendations just willy-nilly. The guy's got skills. Ooh, we've got Kaibara's quirk here. I'll take Ojiro on. Send Kaibara, quirk gyrate. He can rotate any and every part of his body like a drill. Okay, so we see his hands beginning to rotate, but any and every part of his body? I think he can turn his drill into a drill, if you know what I mean. But that's an interesting power. And of course, with the quirk gyrate, that just makes what I just said before even better. He can gyrate his drill. Oh my God, that is hilarious. But this means that his bones are not affected by his quirk, because if he's able to rotate his arms and his hands and his fingers, then his bones are most likely unaffected by the rotation, the drill-like, spin that he puts his limbs through. So, curious to see more about Kaibara's quirk gyrates, but Ojiro is just blocking from these attacks. I can't guard against this. Ojiro and Ida's trying to move in, but the pipes are all liquefied, they are all softened. This is going to hinder Ida greatly. Your leg strength is only useful if there's a solid foundation you can step on. And he just starts falling through the ground. And the ground underneath the ice is soft too, by the way. You're a real pain to deal with, so I'll just let you sink, harden everything up, and leave you like that for a while. So kind of similar to how he ended up going up against Power Loader with him and Ojiro teamed up during the final exam, where he threw Ojiro and then was just left down in the dirt and only his head was sticking out. It's kind of like the same trap for Ida within this joint battle training. And he's just slowly sinking in. So you're trying to cut off our teamwork. Curse you, villain, and your sly tactics. Ida's getting a little too into this, and even Shinzo says the exact same thing. He's really gotten absorbed into the whole scenario, huh? That's Ida for you. He just takes it 110%. And we have missiles incoming. These are Pony's horns. We have 6 horns just flying towards Class A. It goes around Todoroki's ice wall and shield, and it goes straight for Shoji. So Pony is going after Shoji right now. Oh my god, she looks adorable right here. Since Shoji's role is reconnaissance, it's safe to assume he'd be hiding in a safe zone. In other words, behind Todoroki.
Hit it, girl. Hit it, girl. Hit it, girl.
Pony, you smart right here. Very cool. But let me see how this quirk works right here. Pony Tsunatori, quirk horn cannon. She can send her horns flying, and she's able to control up to 4 horns at once after firing them. She never fails to get her daily dose of keratin. That's a funny note right there. So, okay, so that's how her quirk works. It's not a laser beam like I kind of envisioned her quirk being, like a little laser ball that kind of forms in between the horns and she can shoot it out. But this is very interesting. So her horns are detachable, and they're almost like heat-seeking missiles to where she can launch them anywhere. And I like the fact that she kind of like has to do this, and then I guess that's how she controls them in a way. But does it kind of like slice and like thin them off and then they go flying? Or is it actually full horns and then they just grow back like that? These are the type of questions I have when we learn about these new quirks. But Pony got a very interesting quirk. Not as OP as I thought, but still a rather interesting quirk. And it's just pushing Shoji back, getting him away from Todoroki. These are much stronger than I'd anticipated. And Todoroki turns around and you see the ice starting to break. Tetsutetsu going in for that close hand-to-hand combat. He just crashes through, horn dash hammer, and he's just grabbing a hold of Todoroki. Your ice is so damn cold, you know that? You've got old Tetsutetsu shivering over here, Todoroki. You think you can beat me in a hand-to-hand brawl, huh? Yeah, I don't think Todoroki, like, we know that Todoroki's strength is not hand-to-hand combat. Whenever we see him fight, he's always long range, firing off his fire and ice moves. So it's going to be rather interesting to see if Todoroki can actually try to get away from the grip of Tetsutetsu in a close hand-to-hand combat. So we have Pony and Shoji going up against each other. We have Todoroki and Tetsutetsu, and then Kaibara and Ojiro, which just leaves Juzo with Ida. So we're getting one-on-one matches in this team exercise right now. And Kirishima's watching. That Tetsutetsu, he took note of my reflections on my match and fixed them immediately. That is true. He just immediately went into his advantage to go into close hand-to-hand combat, which is kind of what Kirishima should have done in his first match. And then Denki replies with, nah, he's probably not even thinking about any of that. He just went with Honanuki's flow, being flexible in this match. Okay, so Ojiro dodging the drill from Kaibara. Pony we see launching Shoji into a wall. Todoroki getting slammed into the ground by Tetsutetsu. So right now, Class B seems to have the advantage, but the match isn't over yet. And we just see Ida as ahead, as the ground has hardened now. He is stuck in the ground. It's nice of, Honanuki to give that breathing room so he doesn't suffocate deep underground. But Ida, being very into it, just shouts, "Curse you!" And Juzo, being the flexible one, is like, sorry about that. Recipro's got a pretty strict time limit, right? So he knows about the time limit. It might not be a good idea to use it right at the start, don't you think? Anyway, I'm gonna go back up. He's just so nonchalant about it. Anyway, I'm gonna go back up Tetsutetsu. See you later, Ida. Time limit? Since when, you madman? Okay, what's going on here? Ingenium will always rush to the scene, anytime, anywhere. Something's going on right now with Ida, so that's why my legs are always going at full throttle. Recipro Turbo, and he is just busting out of the ground. Okay, Ida. So this is a new ultimate move, or at least an extension to increase Recipro Burst. Full speed ahead to victory. End of chapter 203 of My Hero Academia. Let me see if there's anything more. Okay, there's a side thing with Toga, but I'll read that just a little bit later. Okay, so that is the ending of chapter 203. Match so far is going quite well right now. I'm expecting Class B to have the advantage, but now with this thing happening with Ida, if Ida is able to get the drop on Juzo and take him out, Class A is going to win this match. No doubt about that. It really does depend whether Ida can take him out or if he gets taken out. That will decide, I think, how the match is going to go further. But I like what we had in the beginning with Endeavor being a better father, slowly, step by step, trying to text Todoroki. Of course, Shoto right now is in the middle of a match, so he can't really reply, but he left him with those red messages, which, man, that that is so relatable right there. That is the worst thing you want to see when you are texting someone, that they saw your message and just left it on red. And that was that. They did not even reply. So Horikoshi adding in those relatable factors right at the beginning of this chapter. But I'm liking what we are seeing right now. Pony's quirk, even though it definitely went away with what I was expecting, it's still a very cool power. Really want to know the limitations and how her horns grow back so quickly. And then Kaibara with his quirk of gyrate, which is funny in and of itself. I don't think I have to go even deeper into describing that, but okay, match number 3 right now is underway. We're going to have some interesting developments to see what's going to happen in next chapter in 204. I don't think we're going to get the conclusion of the match. I think it will end in chapter 205. But yeah, that is my live reaction to chapter 203 of My Hero Academia. But now I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this latest chapter. What were your positives? What were your negatives? What was your favorite part about this chapter? And what was your favorite quirk revealed by Class B? Was it Kaibara or was it Pony? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys want to talk more about My Hero Academia here on the channel, feel free to subscribe. And also if you want to talk more over on social media, I'll leave a link down in the description to my Twitter account because I love talking about My Hero Academia over on that with all of you guys. But yeah, that's going to do it for me here. So until next week when we have chapter 204 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond plus ultra.